Hey, what they? Oh, you beat me to it, nigga. You beat me to it. That was my.
Right.
That was my dating movie in college, dog.
On the back.
Yeah. You want to know the one thing about it? I never finished it. I never finished it.
That sounds like a successful day movie to me.
Yeah, man. Hey, truly appreciate you coming in tonight, man. I love your talking points. I love the fact that you can articulate your talking points. Not that I always agree, but I think that it's just I'm glad you're here. You know, I mean, I'm really glad you're here. And how did all this start, man?
Listen, man, we might agree on more than you realize at this point. All I did was start writing these videos during the Black Lives Matter movement. You feel me? Like when it first got popping in like 2014. I first went viral in 2015. And my video was about reparations. You know Ta-Nehisi Coates. He wrote that beautiful article for the Atlantic about like the case for reparations.
Sure.
And it was like really, really articulate. It was detailed and thorough. I mean, he did his research. It was just too damn long. So what I did was I just made a video that talked about why we are owed reparations before we was really even talking about it like that, man. In the first minute of the video, I just cooned. I cooned just to see who I could bring in, just to see who I could pull into the conversation, just to see if somebody was going to misjudge me. I could always tell the people who had the shortest attention span. And I knew that if you disagreed with reparations, you were going to be pulled in by that first minute. If you agreed with reparations, I wasn't talking to you. My job was to convince those who didn't agree with it.
Sure.
And so it was just the tactical bait and switch. And before I knew it, people were sharing, and they always had to preface it, wait for it. Wait for it. You know what I'm saying?
Wait for it.
And so that's kind of how it all went down. You know what I mean? And then I started getting these white supremacist trolls on my account, man. And, I basically had my first visceral black man reaction. Like, I bet you won't say that to my face, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I bet I snap your neck when I see you in these streets, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it started. But then, but I realized I'm basically internet thugging at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to see these people. They live all across the world, but I noticed they kept giving me the same BS information. They kept feeding me the same false narratives. And so I didn't know about echo chambers back then, man. I had no idea. People weren't even talking about it like that. What you thought, when you looked at the internet, you thought what you saw is what you got. And so my partner and them named Quincy worked at an internet marketing firm. He broke down to me these target marketing algorithms, man. And I had seen this article about like white supremacists creating fake profiles on Black Twitter. And I was like, all right, because I would go to my trolls' pages. They was fake. I didn't know you could do that. You remember, we all came from MySpace, so I'm playalific 303 in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right?
my top eight.
right. But basically, you know what I mean? But Facebook wanted your government. So I didn't really, I didn't conceptualize somebody could make a fake account. Bro, I didn't think this was revolutionary by any stretch of the imagination. You know what I'm saying? It only took me 10 minutes to set this mug up. Now, what I found when I went undercover was the whole thing that got the TED Talk off. And even the TED Talk got me in some trouble because of the ways that I framed a couple of things. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm here to clear all of that up just in case folks have misconceptions. But they released the TED Talk. A black man goes undercover in the alt-right, literally, Charlottesville weekend, literally. So here's how it went. Here's how it really went down behind the scenes.
Sure.
Behind the scenes, they was like, all right, we're going to release this in 3 weeks. This was at the beginning of July. 3 weeks come by, I ain't seen no damn video release, right?
Wow.
4 weeks go by, I ain't seen no damn video. 5th week, the lady from TED hits me up. She was like, yo, you're being considered. It happened to be Charlottesville weekend. I got 1 million views that first week. I didn't think that it was going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect to take this ride through popular consciousness. I didn't think I'd be on CNN talking all this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? Then the alt-right came after me like a motherfucker. It was crazy, bro. So it was, but I'm just me. You know what I mean? I'm just a brother who wanted to understand the existential threat of white supremacy as it reemerged in the modern era. That's why I did my experiment.
And what did you learn? Like you touched on it in your TED Talk, but feel free to take your time. You can give examples. We got as much time as you need tonight.
Listen, yeah.
Go ahead. And just talk about the because you use the word compassion, you
Mm-hmm.
use about the lack of understanding. Yeah, use the word. Yeah. We shouldn't have compassion for these motherfuckers, right? And
Right.
and how there's a not a misunderstanding, but a lack of understanding. Was that the correct term on both sides of the spectrum? So feel free to elaborate on that because you're playing both sides of the fence. You're like a double agent at this point, correct?
At this point, but don't use that word too much because folks
Okay.
get the wrong idea out this month.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like I'm literally just
You're playing offense and defense.
Right. So here's what it truly was, right?
Mm-hmm.
I began the experiment because I said I need to know if this echo chamber stuff is number one real, number two, how big it is. Because I can't see it from my side of the internet, period. Right. So I'm telling you, bro, it was so basic, homie. I worked at a call center at this time. I'm like literally that was my 9 to 5. I'm working at a goddamn call center. Now this is how it really panned out, right? The call center had firewalls up in this internet. So there's certain websites that I could not get onto while I was working, you know, and we had long breaks between calls. When I found, feel me? So that's what's up. What up, big Terrence Bailey?
Shout out to Terrence Bailey for making this happen, man. Salute, Terrence. Salute, brother.
Oh, yo. Douglas descendants, his real historical families, right? Which I am one too. I'm a grandson of a Tuskegee Airman. But yeah. But so anyway, now here's what went down. I couldn't get on the white supremacist websites at my job because the firewalls that the IT team set up blocked me from there. But all of the white supremacist websites had a YouTube channel, all of them. Now, what I did not realize at this point was that YouTube, when I created my fake profile initially on there, that YouTube is a portal to the dark web. A lot of people don't know that. But YouTube is actually, y'all have heard about the dark web, and I stumbled into it unwittingly. I was just trying to figure this thing out because as a black man, I can't not know my enemy. You feel me? Like I am a survivor of police brutality. I talked about in the TED Talk. You've been feeling like I've been handcuffed to a chair and beat by the cops for real. Like my partner Alonzo Ashley got killed by the police for real. You know what I'm saying? So there's no parts of me that's sitting up here finding compassion as an intent. This was reconnaissance, bro. You know what I'm saying? This was scouting out the landscape. And it was so simple to do. Like I'm still surprised that I'm talking about this. You feel me? But here's what I did find. So here's where the compassion piece came in, which is different than sympathy. Do not get them too twisted. First and foremost, do not get them too sympathy and compassion is two different things, right? So here's what went down. I said to myself, so check this out. I didn't choose to be born black no more than anybody chose to be born their race. Ain't nobody choose their mama. I ain't choose my mama. You ain't choose your mama, period. You see what I'm saying? And therefore, I ain't choose the family I was born into. My daddy said whatever he said at Thanksgiving. These white boys' daddy said whatever they said at Thanksgiving. You understand me? So if you living in a world where you got your uncle who's basically a freaking closet Klansman, you feel me? You living in the Rust Belt of America. You living in, you know what I'm saying, like the backwoods. You don't got no black friends. Only black people you ever see is on TV. And during this time, who was fucking president? Barack Hussein Obama, right? So when you talk about Black Lives Matter, these people didn't have no concept of that. So I was like, listen, they're by the grace. They're by the goddamn grace. I came out of a black woman, and therefore I got a black man's experience. If I came out of a white woman, I would have that experience. And I said, cause and effect coupled with how this country refuses to teach the truth about history. Refuses. Like, it's not like we accidentally left some shit out. This is a blatant omission. You are blatantly omitting Black Wall Street in this American school system. You're blatantly omitting what happened in Africa in 1491, blatantly omitting the greatness of our people, blatantly omitting the fact that we tried to stand our own too and got knocked down every time. So if all of this context is missing, I don't know how I could have landed in a different place, period. So it's an emotional understanding. And they say that African people, we're very compassionate people. I got that. That don't mean I'm out here trying to hug folks. You see what I'm saying? I'm not that dude. I was actually at a convention with that actual dude. You feel me? You know, and he and I can agree to disagree. I'm not Mr. Huggy. I'm this dude who was trying to figure something out. And the compassion piece got played up real tough. You know what I mean? But the fact is that I found compassion, but I do not sympathize. I don't sympathize with white supremacists whatsoever. This is the age of Google. You can find out whatever the hell you need to find out. You know what I'm saying? So I can cut there if you need to ask any questions, and I can go more into what I actually found. but that's what I experienced.
Sure.
I can talk about what I found.
Sure.
You want me to, you want to go there right now?
Oh yeah. You got us captivated. I'm like, oh, yeah, go ahead.
Because like so, all right, so people